Now let's talk about Rhyme for Your Life, which is episode 93A. And here's our other special guest, Binky. Hi there. Hi, Binky. Hi. Are you ready for another episode? I sure am. I'm so glad I missed wrestling for this. You are? Well, maybe. Okay, let's get started. This episode starts out with Mr. Rapper getting the stage ready. It turned out he was going to do a show about Edgar Allan Poe. As Buster left the scene, Binky entered the scene with a cloak over his head. He was rhyming too. I wondered why. You'll see once you explain in further detail. Right. So after the title card was read, Binky was seen at the candy shop buying something for his mom's birthday. Except it all cost $32.50. Wow. Anyway, in another store, he went to buy his mom a nice card. Well, he tried to find a good one anyway. Then he saw Muffy. She thought, why not Binky just make a card for his mom? The problem was, I wasn't good at this writing stuff. Right. Anyway, the scene transitions to Binky and Fern at the library. He was trying to pay her to write a poem. She didn't want to. So Fern gave Binky a book about poetry to help him out. Then the scene transitions to Binky trying to write a poem. How was the writing process going for you, Binky? Not great. Anyway, he turned on the TV and got comfy cozy. All of a sudden, his comfy chair was gone. It turned out he was in Verseburg. He met Clementine, who took him to meet Dr. Reimenstein. They were having dinner with him when all of a sudden, a purple orange swallowed him whole. Then it took Clementine. So Binky ran to the police station to tell the constable everything that had happened. The thing was, Binky tried to speak in rhyme since it was a crime not to, but it was too difficult for him. So he went to jail. There he met William Carlos Williams. He helped Binky escape and told him he'll get the hang of rhyming. He gave him a rhyming dictionary to help him. After some practice, he got the hang of it and saved Clementine from the purple orange. The scene transitions to the crowd cheering, and the constable gave him a mounted barracuda. Back to reality, Binky decided to write down everything that happened in his dream and give that to his mom, but he was tired. He decided to do it in the morning. The next day, he tried to write the poem. But I forgot the whole thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh indeed. Anyway, the scene transitions to Binky giving his mom a card, but it had nothing in it. Binky explained to her that he tried to write a poem, but he just couldn't. After he talked, he realized that he could rhyme after all. I was the best poet in Elwood City. I bet you were. Anyway, back to the present, Binky finished his story. His mom had a great birthday, but the problem was Binky couldn't stop rhyming. So I decided to tell him to think of something that he can't rhyme. Eventually he did. He couldn't think of a word that rhymes with my name, Arthur. Suddenly, I started rhyming too. You were a prisoner of poetry yourself. Yeah, and that's how the episode ends. Well, that's Arthur, the Big Riddle. Now let's talk about each episode as a whole. What did you think of Arthur and the Big Riddle, Buster? Well, Arthur, I thought this episode was a good one. I mean, who doesn't like solving riddles, even though there are dopey kids' riddles? What about It's a No-Brainer? What did you think of that? Well, I thought Brain learned an important lesson in this episode. Everybody gets things wrong sometimes, and it sure is a no-brainer that you can't change your personality just because you got one thing wrong. See what I did there? Yup. Now what about Rhyme for Your Life? What did you think of that? Well, I thought it was pretty cool hearing all kinds of rhymes. Also, rhyming can be difficult, but if you just take the time to practice, you got yourself a poetry masterpiece. How true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for today. I would like to thank Brain and Binky for coming onto our show. I would also like to thank Buster for helping me out with this podcast. Finally, I would like to thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye.